Hello, I'm Malcolm Ewing. I'm a health advisor in the Rotherham Multi-Agency Safeguarding Hub for Children, employed by R-NHS Trust, and I chair the Practice Standards Group.
Hello, I'm Alicia Plain. I'm the named midwife for safeguarding children based at the Rotherham NHS Foundation Trust.
Hi, my name's Carol Sibley. I'm the Principal Children and Families Social Worker over here at Rotherham Council.
And lastly, I am Detective Sergeant Sam Wardman. I work for South Yorkshire Police. I am part of the PVP, the Protecting Vulnerable People's CID portfolio, and we are embedded here with the Council, working in partnership.
We all represent our different agencies in the Safeguarding Partnership on the Practice Standards Group. To me, safeguarding is about protecting children and vulnerable adults from harm. And I think that professionals in different agencies need to work cooperatively together to do that.
I would echo what Malcolm has just mentioned about what safeguarding means to him. I completely agree with that statement. I would go on to say that for me, it means that we are giving children and vulnerable adults the best start that they can have in life.
Hi, for me, safeguarding in children's services is about making sure children are safe from harm, significant harm in particular, that can range from anything from being safe going to school to being safe online. So it's very varied for us.
Safeguarding to me means protecting both children and adults, and not just the general needs that they have, but also the specific needs of that person, ensuring that they do have the best start.
For me, safeguarding is about stopping young children becoming a victim of crime or an offender in crime from a police's point of view. So we'll look at making children safe, making sure that offenders are prosecuted, and our partners making sure that they can easily identify when someone is a victim of crime or likely to be engaged in criminal activity.
So right at the centre of what we do is professionals from different agencies working together in this endeavour to safeguard people from harm. And I think we need to have perhaps a bit of a discussion around how we do that within the Safeguarding Partnership.
The Practice Standards Group, as you can see, is made up of professionals from different organisations. The government directive under Working Together explains how we should all work together, but as different professionals from different organisations, we all have our own legislation governing how we should prosecute and work with people. So from the police's point of view, I will try and explain the criminal legislation. We will have legislation covering healthcare and legislation covering social care. And between us here, we'll work out what it means to each of us to look after children and make sure that each agency is fulfilling its statutory requirements, and make sure that we all understand that the police can't do something for these reasons, and education can't do something for this reason, and social care can't do something for this reason. But between us all, we know the best pathway to safeguard that child and to look after the offender. Because from a police's point of view, I deal with willful neglect as the criminal offence, which is not quite the same as my partners who will deal with neglect. And I'll have to explain, and we'll all come to an understanding of what is willful in terms of prosecuting parents, for example.
One of the things that we do within the Practice Standards Group is we look at referrals in from child protection chairs. And usually that's when they've exercised their right to veto a decision, and that means that they will override the majority decision of the agencies at that child protection conference. And somebody needs to check that that decision has been made well at the right time. So that then comes to our Practice Standards Group, and us as different agencies all sit together, talk it through and decide whether that has been the right decision for that child at that time.
One of the other functions of the Practice Standards Groups is that we look at referrals into the group that could have come from an escalation from practice resolution that could have occurred within either of the agencies within the partnership. It can look at cases that potentially for learning, or it could also be for an appraisal for when something's worked really, really well within the partnership.
I'm not an agency representative, but the understanding of safeguarding that I have comes from being a business support officer in the partnership. From having an understanding of safeguarding, I see how agencies work together, especially in the practice standards group, which is chaired by Malcolm. My role ensures that all agencies are working together and there's effective communication between each different agency.
The Practice Standards Group is an advisory group for the Safeguarding Partnership. We don't have legal powers to insist that any particular agency does things in any particular way, but we have a role in advising agencies in the best ways to work together to safeguard children.